I'm good. I'm ready.
All right. Here we go. We're recording in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What's up, everybody, and thank you for joining us on this episode of It's All in the Delivery, episode number 8. And I am joined here with my friends, as always, my co-hosts. I'm talking about Bobby and Luke. Let's start with Luke down in West by God, Virginia. I'm nailing it. Luke, how's it going, buddy?
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't a bad week. I discussed with Dave, and I said something to Misty about this as well. It's funny how we can misconstrue what nice days are to us, to normal people. Because Dave saying getting done at 7, I was like, oh, that's not bad. It's like I was like, it's sad that 7's a not bad day, but no, really, I got off at 6:55, so I did better. And it was a great week.
Ooh. Still daylight?
Awesome.
Was it daylight?
It was still daylight.
Oh.
It was still daylight.
And that voice you guys hear is my other co-host. I'm talking about No Pants Tonight, Mr. Bobby. How's it going, buddy?
Well, it's going great. A little breezy, but good. Everything's hanging out, and it was a good day too. 7:30 punch out. So normal people 9 to 5, 9 to 7:30. Yes,
Yeah.
Let's go, Warrior.
All right. And also, so we originally had a guest lined up, but we had to reschedule for some other reasons that were out of our control. So we happened to do you all a little favor. I believe this guest is talked about every episode. I believe their name gets dropped. Her name gets dropped, I believe, every episode by somebody. Like, oh yeah, this episode.
I would say,
this episode.
yeah, I would agree with that.
So, guys, please welcome back to the show our first reoccurring guest.
Yeah.
Our first reoccurring guest, Misterrific, Misty. How is everything over there in California?
Hi. It's much better. It's not triple digits today.
Nice.
Nice.
But I have my fan.
I was going to ask if you had
Oh,
the fan
Jesus.
beside you.
I got it.
Is it?
I got it.
Oh shit!
Here we go. We're starting
Yes!
early.
Hold on, everyone. Talking slow motion. Jesus Christ! Way to start that.
That talk about hit the ground running right there.
Yeah, a little.
Thank you for having me back. I'm stoked.
No, thank you for coming back. We're stoked.
Absolutely. First reoccurring guest and first guest ever.
Yay.
Oh,
the
good
OG.
point. Good point.
Absolutely, OG.
Yeah. Good point. So how was everybody's week? Huh? Like what's going on?
Well, Iran 3.0 sucks.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
it won't get any better. And I believe, Misty, you're the only one of the 4 of us here that hasn't gotten served yet. And I hope you can avoid it as long as possible, because it just fucking you would think it would get better with time, but it just keeps getting shittier.
It's
I'm
true.
hoping It works, kinks out before it gets over here.
Yeah.
Dave, you still have it or no?
Oh yeah.
So we just got it taken away today. We had it for like a week, and they took it away. And they said, "Oh, it doesn't work. It's not working here, but it'll be back in January. Don't worry."
Is that when the new
See-
is that when the new boards are coming out? Because that's what I heard. I heard some people were gonna get it taken away until the new boards come out, because it makes all the old boards run slow.
That's
Yeah.
what it's supposedly, though. That's what I hear too. That it's supposed to be for the new dyad,
Right.
and timing is always shit. But
Like, aren't we supposed to be on time? And never
Oh,
mind.
it's gonna be a shit show when it comes Christmas, huh?
Mhm.
Oh, hey, yeah, fuck. Jesus Christ.
Jiminy.
So, and Misty, how was your week?
It was good.
That's good. Just normal, everything all hunky dory over there.
Everything. It was my week back from vacation, and I didn't work in the dark once. It was really good.
Wow.
The morning or night and dark? Which dark are you talking about?
The night dark.
That's true. Unloading them trucks
Because you
6
go in,
a.m.
yeah.
She goes in at dark. Absolutely.
I feel
I
like
think you do. Yeah, you go in at dark. If you're preloaded 6 a.m.,
I
right?
wake up at 4 a.m. no matter what.
I love it.
Psycho.
Yep. What do you want to do today? Well, I'm gonna wake up at 4. I'm like, no, I barely have enough willpower to go to the bathroom. I'm like, you know what? I can just go. I can let it go here. I'm a grown man. Nobody's gonna yell at me.
I can hold it.
And then she kicks me out. Like, okay, yeah, fine, whatever. And you got Misty over here, and she's like, I'm at the gym. I'm going here. Ha. Amazing, terrific, if you will.
Right before I go to
If
work.
you will.
Nice. What were we gonna say?
Yeah, sorry.
I just have to get my head right before I get into work.
Oh.
It helps.
Well, once you get into the routine, the workout thing, I mean, I never was as hardcore as you are with 4 a.m., but I used to go in at 6, but I got lazy and years go by. I haven't lifted weights now, like really been in a weight room and lifted in 4 years, and that to me blows my mind because I never thought that I would ever see that day. But it's amazing, I just got out of it and I need to get back. But I've talked about this before with you, and then shout out to Kenny Phillips on his lunch breaks doing backflips and lifting his body weight around. I'm like, all right, I can fucking do it. I can't blame the job because it's you guys prove it can be done.
Yes.
It can be done.
If you're crazy enough.
So true.
I talked to Fitzy about that. Parcel Savage. He was like naturally, if you're just comfortable, you're fed, you're sheltered, you have all the necessities, then you're like, okay, fine, everything's good. Like you have to be kind of crazy to be like, let's do more for no reason, just for proactive stuff. And I was like, okay. Go ahead.
Interesting. I ain't got nothing.
Yeah, you're like,
Well, like I'll still do some shit, but like I love to hike, and I don't look like a person that you would think would be like when I was on vacation. I hiked 6 miles to Rainbow Falls, and I mean, I was probably the biggest person I saw weight wise hiking, and I still do that, but a quick story for you. When I was still playing football, when I was 20 years old and I was still playing, I was in nose guard days. I was like 285. I ran a 10K marathon up in New Hampshire with my cousin. It was her mom, my aunt's birthday. And when I was signing up, there was people, I could hear people whispering, like snickering at me. I was like, you motherfuckers. I was like, this is fucking profiling, you pieces of shit. Because everybody else there was like max weight 160. So I had everybody by like a human being worth of weight. But I was one time I could run some mini marathons.
Jesus Christ. That's nuts. I just don't find like running fun. Like there's people that just fucking run. It's like, how do you do it?
You don't run or
no.
You skate though. You're hockey.
Yeah.
Like if
that's different though. I'm gliding.
Yeah, well,
it's less work.
The lazy man's running.
The lazy man's running. Yeah, exactly.
The smart man's running.
There you go. All right. So, anyways, let's. I really want to start off saying, we have gotten some feedback from last week's episode, and we just want to say though that a couple things that were said on there, we don't condone them, don't quite agree with them either. Like for instance, one was leaving piss bottles in the truck. That's fucking not cool at all, even if it's your own truck, because that's just fucking not cool. And the whole book.
Was he saying that he leaves like a whole full one? Like,
I guess, yeah.
Oh,
And then
he left one in there.
and so
Fermented.
that's like totally not cool at all, especially if you were to have like a female run your route like that next day or something. You know what I mean? Totally not cool. But the other thing too, boogers on the seat, man. Like it's the same thing. Like other people are
dude,
gonna
that's so gross.
other
Like,
people are gonna use your truck too. So
yeah.
We want to
we
promote. Go ahead.
No, buddy, go
I
for
don't know
it.
what I was
It's
going to
all
go with that,
fucking
but
you.
it was going to be a good. We want to promote. I was trying to think of a witty thing to say, but we just want to promote to not wipe boogers on seats and leave piss bottles in trucks overnight. I mean, that
Pretty
seems
much,
pretty
yeah.
fucking simple.
Yeah.
You know.
Right. Right. So, just need to
And I-
get that out of the way so our listeners know, it's fucking not cool. And I know we have female listeners. I know we have more than Misty.
Well, we have a female driver
that
right
listen.
now, and
Right.
I know the piss bottle
What's-
overnight. I know the piss bottle thing. I know that's just I know that gets, and I don't understand, but I would say I would get it because it's bullshit in a sense. But I'll let you say something on that.
And I know that I'm a woman in a man's world. I know that. I've known that for 24 years, that I'm a female in a man's world, and there's not very many of us, but that's just, there's just a line of, that doesn't even cross a female code. That's just a code all the way across. I think it has nothing to do with a female code.
Yeah.
I understand we have our own trucks and we can do, whatever we want with our own trucks, but there's still car washers, there's still mechanics. Like that's just, for other people's sake.
Preloaders. Yeah.
Yeah, preloaders, the loaders, it's unsanitary. Let's
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah.
The one, before we move on from this, I gotta say the one thing. Now that we've started this podcast, I showed this to Bobby. There was a message. Somebody took a picture of a dyad of somebody that had a piss bottle roll out on the lot, and a driver ran over the bottle and it sprayed all over a regional manager. And it was saying, like, please discard your. I was thinking, whoever did that is in the Hall of Fame in my book.
Right.
Yeah.
But
Their
I've
name will
always
never
wanted
be
to know
forgotten.
who that was. But yeah, I said to be on the lot that day. I was like, you want to talk about wrong place, wrong time?
It's terrible.
Oh, didn't it?
Jesus
Fucking
Christ.
crazy.
So, but anyways, just wanted to get that out of the way, air out some laundry there. So what do we got going on for this episode? I mean, our original guest, had to cancel, like we said, and we got Misty on. I think we have a couple questions for you still. Is that okay? Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Or I know actually. You know what? I think Luke wants to start with something. And
I did want to start with, and I won't. It was when you were on the first time, and because this being, the last podcast we'll do for September, which is Child Cancer Awareness Month, and I looked into, I started following. I'm assuming it's Krystie's mother that has the account, and and it sort of. It hit home in a sort of a different, like it made me think about it earlier in the week because I've always been a big advocate in October because I lost my mother to breast cancer when I was a kid, and I just like I started thinking that how really inspirational and amazing she really is, because I can't understand it from her point as being sick, but I know the situation because when I was a kid, I experienced the same thing with my mom. And the fact that, she was, and I think most people in it, my mom was our rock, and people normally who's sick, they are the ones that keep everybody else together because we're the ones that are worried about it. And I started looking up on her and seeing and it just, the fact that she takes on that role as a kid, being having to do all this and having the positive outlook she has and kicking ass as far as I can see. It made me think that I wanted to make sure that I said something because that really hit home sort of in a different way. I was curious on how to go about it, and I figured to do it here because I figured I'd end up going on for a minute about it. But I know you let her mom let her listen the last time to the little part, because obviously I'm vulgar. This is a vulgar, but I just wanted to say that, she she's an amazing girl, amazing kid for what, her outlook. And I know all days aren't always great because it's not something that, anybody's ever prepared for, especially when it's a child. And I just want to say I'm truly moved by her, and she's got support in West Virginia, and I just want to encourage her to keep doing what she's doing, to keep kicking cancer's ass and fighting. And it being the last podcast for child cancer awareness, I just wanted to make sure that was said.
No, I really appreciate it. And, I'm really sorry about your mom. I didn't know anything about that. And you as a child, that's a whole different view in itself with cancer. I have a buddy that lost his mom when he was a child from cancer.
Right.
And, it's the whole process in the home and hospice and all of that. And so flipping the switch and seeing the child at home and the family, she's got a sister and a brother and a mom and a dad all at the house. And, and it's hard for the rest of the family, like it's the other side of it, and everybody
Right.
has to be strong, and she's currently getting chemo right this second. And after this one, she has one more treatment, and she's going to ring the fucking bell. And
Nice.
and because of COVID, like we can't be there, so she's going to do some type of YouTube live or whatever, and then afterwards she's going to have a drive-by. And so I have the ribbon on the top of my knuckle, so I'm going to get the bell on the bottom part of my knuckle when she rings that bell. And she's in the hospital. I'm sure you saw, if you're watching her, she's twerking while she's twerking next to her
I didn't
bed.
see that one. Are you serious?
And
Oh yeah, that girl's got spunk.
And
she's got spunk.
Getting chemo, and she is smiling, and it's so much. It's pretty amazing. Like she's absolutely, and she might not know how many people she's touched right now.
That's what sorry, yeah.
And it might
so
take a
true.
long time because she's just in go mode. And before this happened, she was in go mode with sports, and she was an avid sports player. And so it's like she's putting on her cleats, and she's just powering through this chemo with all the side effects and all of that. And she's growing back a little hair right now, and the chemo's probably going to cut it out again. But, and now I get to watch her strength through the aftermath of it. She's never going to be the same. She's never going to be the same. She's never going to be the same, but she's going to be amazing with who Krystie is after cancer.
Right.
She's going to be a survivor, and she's kicking its ass. And so I really appreciate that. Kathy's going to love that this was the last podcast of childhood cancer. And thank you so much. That's awesome. She's going to be crying. So,
well, I just like the last thing that I would say about it that really amazed me with it, because as an adult now, being 35, I had a friend that got diagnosed and had a young son. It was like the same situation with me. She ended up beating it and is fine now. She beat it. But I remember, but as an adult, you think, because we know the world can be shitty, people can be shitty, and you see that and you're like, why she's like you said, the outlook that she has that we can all go from is that, because that's what amazed me, was because all the adults around her, who as a kid, you lean on adults, and those are supposed to be, and it's impossible for not any adult to just be pissed off and be fucking mad about it. You know what I mean? And just be, it's hard. You don't understand it. There's never going to be a reason but yeah, she's an amazing girl, and we'll keep watching, keep supporting. But yeah, she's awesome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome.
She's amazing. Yes.
Awesome. Well said, Luke. Well said.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
You almost got me, bro. You almost got me because I almost tried to be like, I'm not crying, you're crying.
Yeah.
Dude,
You
I
almost
had
got
to
me.
I had to I won't lie. I had to I've rehearsed, not really rehearsed it, but I had to think about it because I was pretty young. I was a little bit younger than she was. Like I remember, I don't mind getting into that. It doesn't bother me. But I mean, I remember, but I was 6. So I was a kid. I was pretty. So it doesn't like the way, if anybody would be watching this that would had a parent die young, I will say this, they may understand it like this. It almost feels kind of like more of a dream than like I remember things and I remember things about her, but it just, and I know that sounds sad from people hearing it, but it just, it's just different, you know. It you don't I won't keep getting into that, but everything, but it's you know, it's hard to explain unless you kind of experience it, you know.
No
It's
parent should have to go through this, and no child. It's
right.
it's the whole situation, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I appreciate that.
You want
Thank
to bring
you.
it in?
But I just wanted to. I was.
You want to
But
bring
yeah,
it in?
Group hug.
Bring it in.
we're
Group
gonna
hug.
do a
Group hug.
virtual
Yeah,
hug.
bring it. Bring it
Group
in.
hug.
Yeah,
Bring it in.
Come
All
in.
Okay,
right.
guys.
come on.
Group hug. All right.
Here, here.
But I will say on a positive note, on to get to where in my family, you know, that to have a positive story, my grandmother turned 99 years old today.
Woo.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Happy
Happy
birthday,
99 years old.
Grandma Nomad.
Yeah, going over to watch the WVU game tomorrow, and she's fucking stoked. She loves
Nice.
sports. She quit driving at 97. Freaking nature. I mean, it's.
This is the one that they were trying to get her to listen to the podcast.
Oh, that was my aunt said, my aunt brought it up because my aunt listened to it, and you know them like it was pretty much like once I hit adulthood, you know, with my family, I didn't really care if they would hear me. I mean, I don't cuss like a sailor in front of them at events, but I didn't care if they'd hear me say fuck. But my grandmother, that'll never change. I'm like, whoa, man, no.
No, Grandma, no.
I had to distract her with another YouTube clip from my last football game I played at my high school. Somebody posted it from another team. I dodged that bullet. God.
Yo, so speaking of some of you, Luke. So you recently shared on your Instagram this old video from like what 2005 maybe of you just taking out this woman as she was walking by.
What's that about?
Oh, dude. So
Please share. And I wish there was the audio because I'm sure it was just like.
Well, this is the thing. In the text, hold on, I got a cough real quick. No COVID, but in the text, the audio was there, and the audio makes it so much better because at the very end you hear everybody go ah, like, just see it. But so there's so many little facets to that story. But what had happened was, that was around that was 2005 or 6. Yeah, it was 2005 or 6, somewhere around there. Maybe it could have been a year or two later, but it was in the mid 2000s, and so it was after a West Virginia game, and that was before I was single man back then. So I mean, I was going out, running around, partying, going to football games, getting hammered, doing
Unstoppable
my thing,
force,
and
right?
yeah, pretty much. And after that game, I don't remember what fucking game that was, or if we won or lost, but it didn't really matter at Morgantown. But so it was going to be a dance off. Somebody said, I want to have a dance off with you. Me and this girl, I didn't know who it was. We just started. There was a group of people there, and you know, everybody gets the cameras out, the digital cameras, because back then, you know, nobody the fucking shit. Nobody had the smartphones at that point. And so the thing is there's about 70,000 people that go to these games. So tailgates and stuff, there's some people that don't even go inside. So roughly, I would say on a regular game day, there's probably 85,000 people in Morgantown there in a small area. So I don't know what the fuck was going through my head thinking I could pull this dance off in this parking lot by the stadium right after the game ended. So that was, I mean, of course I was hammered, but so obviously when I shifted, I didn't see her. And when I hit, I didn't see who it was. I couldn't see if it was a man or a woman. And then when I looked, all I saw was feet, and then I saw hair, and I saw my gut dropped. I was like, oh my God. I was like, I'm getting arrested.
Yo,
Hit her.
but all I saw in the video was you just make your move to the side, and then a woman just dropped, and she looked like she hit the cooler or something on the way down.
Dude, she hit the cooler and barrel rolled into shit. It was bad. And her husband was so fucking mad. And I was sitting there, I was like, dude, you can just fucking hit me in the face. He was an older guy. I mean, he couldn't at that point, fuck, I was boxing back then. I mean, he couldn't have beat me up, but I was willing to let him beat me up. Yeah, I was like, dude, just please. Yeah, I mean, he was probably fucking 60 years old. But I was like, yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do this. I'm so sorry, sir. I had my hands behind my back. It's like, if you want to fucking deck me, just deck me. I'm sorry. He was pissed, but he got over it because he realized I felt fucking terrible. And he realized it was just like, I mean, I didn't get down on my knees, but I literally had my hands behind my back. I was like, dude, if you want to deck me, just please do it. I'm sorry. She was fine. But yeah, I mean, they were probably mid 50s to 60-ish age. So yeah, man, I felt fucking terrible. And, but yeah, nobody got hurt and the dance off got canceled.
I was about to ask who won, but damn.
No, we didn't even get to do it. That ended it.
Oh my goodness. I just had to ask because that was interesting. And what else? We got so Misty had a shit ton of fucking stories like last week of her working on a car.
Oh yes.
So did you guys finish putting it together?
Yeah, well, my husband's out there right now working on it because I have a race tomorrow. So he's a warrior too. I went out there, but I was all pretty for the podcast, so I helped him do a few things, and I was like, I gotta go. But he's been working day and night. I worked with him day and night, 70 hours last week for my real first race, and that didn't happen. And
wait, how did your first real race go?
Well, I started green flag, and I thought I was going to be really well because I was with all like vet drivers.
And I mean, you're a professional driver, so, you know.
Yeah. And a guy spun out before the first turn and took me out and broke my shit. So I was towed off.
Motherfucker.
And that's racing. That's dirt racing. So he has been working on it all week. And so tomorrow I'm going to race. I'm going to try it again. Hopefully I'll get a lap. So
there you go. And how many laps are usually in these like dirt races?
Well, the heat races are about 10, and then the main event is like 20 to 30.
So so the heat races, do you got a place? Is that how it goes?
So there could be, like last week was 2 heat races. It depends on how many cars show up. So it was 2 heat races, and then however you place in that is where you start for the main event.
Oh, so everybody goes in the main event if you don't wreck your shit in the heat race.
Yeah.
So okay.
Don't wreck your shit. Yeah.
God, that sounds fucking awesome.
You guys don't have dirt in there?
No, we do, but it's just
we don't go to them.
I feel like more like, man, they used to have like the demolition derby shit when I was younger here, and I never
kind of like that, but yeah.
I feel like they do. I might not but it sounds badass.
I'm excited. I used to always be a passenger in my husband's car, and he's raced everything, and now he bought the car and then came home, and then we woke up one morning, he was like, I have a great idea. I'm going to be the car owner and you're going to race. And I was like, really? I didn't have a choice. So, but I love adrenaline. There she is. Oh, were you going to scare him?
I appreciate that because I wasn't paying attention.
But so he wants me to race. So we're gonna try it out. He might
I
get,
think, dang, that would be. I mean, that's got to be adrenaline.
if you come
Yeah,
out here, I can put your wife in the car and she can go for a ride.
Listen, I'm telling you, she could race. She would. She's got a. She's a better driver of her car than me.
The
She couldn't. She couldn't
speeding
drive
ticket one over there. Yeah, right.
She couldn't drive a packaged car better than me, but that's just
Attaboy.
because she doesn't drive one. But she can drive. She's fast.
So where's the race tomorrow? Like is it close by to your house? Do you guys do you travel usually?
Tomorrow's race is about 40 minutes away.
Oh, that's not too bad.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Last week I raced somewhere else, down by Santa Cruz where all the fires were, but the racetrack was still good. So, yeah, they're all pretty close.
Cool.
So if it wasn't the 4 a.m. wake up, it's the I just race cars and fires. That for me, that's. I'm gonna stick with that one. I'm just racing. There's fires here, racetracks here.
I think, yeah.
I will.
Yeah.
I'm good.
We
That's
went
cool
to,
though.
we went out to the East Coast to watch racing, to North Carolina. They have amazing races out there.
My dad's cousin used to race, but I don't know where he raced. I don't know if it was like New York or New Jersey. Don't you guys have tracks in New York? You don't know either?
Some.
Yeah.
There's
Used
one
to
that's
race
like a
some.
ways away.
It's a hillbilly thing.
Yeah.
Well, we have like mudding
mudding.
here.
Yep.
Mudding is a fucking, you get them big ass fucking. Oh, I used to have a blast being. I'll tell you a quick story about a mudding fail from this was high school years. I think I was 17 or 8. I was young, and we were out. We got this truck and decided to literally middle of nowhere. Place was Huey Dam. I don't know if you could Google it right now and even fucking find it, but
that's a real name.
Huey Dam. Yeah, I think it's.
Where are we going today? Huey Dam.
Huey Dam.
So we this truck was a standard. So the guy driving it. I mean, we weren't sober, but we were also. I mean, I hate it, I don't condone drinking and driving, but back at this point, we were literally in the woods. Nobody was around. It was us and mud, and we fucking sunk this thing. And so the next day, I found out that it wasn't his truck; that it was this other guy's truck.
No way.
It was his dad's, and I mean, we looked and like. There was a third person with us, and I wasn't necessarily the most coherent. Shocker there. And so he said, yeah, you don't remember he had it in like 4th gear trying to hit. I was like, what? I was like, God, dude, what the fuck? I was like, I was sitting there then. I was like, no wonder we fucking didn't go nowhere. I was like, we were in 4th gear trying to, but anyway, we tried to tow it out. Couldn't what ended up happening was the dude had to bite the bullet, and he was actually younger than us. So this was all football players. And so this kid was probably 16, and his dad, I mean, that kid was grounded. He didn't do shit. I don't know. That was right before the season started. I don't know if he did shit that entire fucking season.
Oh my God.
His dad was mad.
Oh my God. That's a
Mudding
great story though.
Found out it wasn't his truck.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it was. And I mean, it was so deep in mud. I'll put it this way: like when you open the door, mud was coming in. It was. I mean, it was fucked. I mean, absolutely fucked.
Jesus Christ, that's awesome.
You don't do mudding up there in New York, right, Dave?
I mean, I'm sure they do somewhere.
Okay.
I just don't flow that way.
Oh, dude, some I've been in a lot of places in New York, and I would say you some sections of your state, there's definitely some mudders up there.
Yeah,
definitely.
Oh yeah. So, that's cool though. So good luck on your race tomorrow.
Thank you.
Fuck yeah, man. That's
Hopefully
awesome.
you'll make
Good
it
luck.
10 laps.
Yeah.
And then another 20, 30 after that.
Yeah. All of them.
Yeah.
Once you do that though, I mean, God, do you want to think about like you're racing, you're pedal to the metal and going, and then you got to go back to the box truck and package car, whatever we want to call it, and think about the methods and all this other bullshit. And oh God, that's got to
My
feel
poor
good.
husband, there's a seat in the hobby stock. It's the only class that you can bring a passenger. And I'm making him go with me because I'm like, I need him to tell me. Well, we can't really talk. He's screaming and he's not happy. He hates it. He absolutely hates it. But so hopefully I could get someone else. He hates riding with me. He does not like it. But you know, he basically told me if you can't put the pedal to the metal all the way down the straightaway, you have no room for racing. So I'm like, it kind of makes me excited. You know what I mean?
That's
like,
fucking awesome, though.
I want to go as fast as I can, and I want to turn left. Like
you're gonna floor it.
That's it.
You'll do well. I love it. God, I love it.
We'll see. We'll see.
So
But, I mean,
it's legit
so
all
good.
the way to the metal. Like that's
Yes.
every straightaway you just fucking gun.
Yeah. And so if I get good, hopefully I'm just gonna trail brake it, and I'm just gonna stay on the gas and hit the brake to go around the corner.
That's the thing. That's what they call it, trail braking.
Yeah.
So you're using 2 feet though.
I have to use 2 feet. Yes.
Oh, that's fucking
Yeah.
nuts.
So
That would be a great podcast. We're here live with trail braking Misty, and you just have a GoPro. And just like,
Oh yeah, I'm putting a GoPro in there.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Send some footage. Send us some footage. We'll throw it in the next week's.
Yeah, there you go.
Show.
I will.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
will. I'll have it for you on Sunday.
But would you have to pretty much, if he's riding with you because you're flooring it like that and your RPMs are roaring, I mean, do you pretty much have to scream regardless to hear yourself?
Well,
Or
yeah,
is it-
we can't hear each other. There's no
yeah,
way.
I was thinking that,
Hella
yeah, because
loud.
that would be loud as fuck.
It's an old Monte Carlo. And yeah, and so what he's doing for me though is he's helping me out because he's telling me to stay on the gas all the way, and then he's telling me when to tap the brake. And so I'm trying to get balls, and Pissed Off Yorker told me to say I'm Misterrific and I have balls. So I'm trying to say that I'm actually listening to Pissed Off Yorker as I'm in the car, and I'm saying I am Misterrific and I have balls. So I'm trying to do it. I'm trying
That's
to
a great podcast.
Yes.
Right there.
So thank you, Pissed Off Yorker.
Hey, shout out to Gio.
Yeah.
And also, real quick, just want to take a quick minute because I forgot to mention it earlier, guys. So this podcast is brought to you guys by Ups and Browns. upsandbrowns.com. And we just released our first ever shirt. Shout out on Instagram at Diary of a UPS Wife. She came up with that whole design. Thank you so much
What's
for
your real
it.
name? Do you know? her real name?
Kate, it's Cady. I want to say it's pronounced Katie.
Thank you, Katie.
Yes, thank you, Katie. And guys, go check it out there, upsandbrowns.com. Hit the tab where it says gear, then you'll see the podcast one. You'll even see the Ups and Browns shirts as well up there as well. And the delivery guy shirt is up there if you guys want to purchase one of those. Bobby's wearing his right now. Bobby, don't go up too high, Mr. No Pants.
Yeah, I know.
And then there's actually also the delivery gal shirts are now up there as well on that site. But then also the podcast shirts up there too. We're hoping to get some more artwork out for you guys soon. So stay tuned for that one. Go check it out. If you guys love the podcast and want to support, please purchase a shirt. It'll help us just to get better at doing this. And, because everything, unfortunately, costs some fucking money in this world. So thank you guys so much for everybody that bought a shirt. Thank you guys so much for the support. So just want to say that real quick.
Much.
And what else? Misty, do you have questions for us?
Well, sure. Bobby.
Yeah.
How did you start working with the company?
I just walked in.
No.
He didn't even need a
answer.
resume. They just said, "There's a basic white guy."
Yeah, they were like, "Jesus Christ, you look outrageous as fuck. Get over here." Oh,
white guy.
Luke, I love you for this.
I'm sorry, I was waiting to slide it in somewhere.
Yeah.
wait for it. I just want to be sitting somewhere in West Virginia on rocking chairs when we're like 60, and I just want you to be like, "You're fucking basic," and I'm like, "Yeah." Like, I just,
Oh man.
how did I get
Hopefully.
started? I love trucks with no doors. No, I got back from Iraq and I found my high school sweetheart, and I was like, "Yo, YOLO, you only live once," because when you get bombed with like some missiles and gunfire, you're like, "Well, it's either you ask her out or you could have died." So I got back, and well, she's my high school sweetheart. So then we had lots of dates, and then my son was on the way, and my brother-in-law, he's a driver now. I think he's at 25, 26 years.
Oh wow.
And he's like, "Bro, I got this best job for you." And I was like, "What is it?" He's like, "Great benefits." And I was like, "For real?" He's like, "Preload." And I'm like, "Oh, this shit sucks." And I think I got fired like 3 or 4 times. And the preload manager would be like, "Your brother-in-law's killing me, but he's such an awesome dude, worker, that it kept me around." So long
What
enough to
did
be
you
a
get
driver.
fired for?
Oh, it's preload. I told you, wake up at 4 a.m. to like go running. I don't even have dreams at 4 a.m. In my dream, I'll have a dream and I'm like, I'm sleeping. And I'll go back to bed. That's some Inception shit right there. But like, they were like, "Why can't you get here?" And I'm like, "Because it's 3 in the fucking morning. You shouldn't be doing anything at 3 in the morning." That's why. So the first year I tried to sign up for a driver, I'm like, "I want to be a driver." She was like, "How are you going to get here on time?" I was like, "It's 9 o'clock in the morning. 9 o'clock is way better than 3 o'clock." And she's like, "I can't trust you." And I had an extra year.
Yeah, and that's some shit.
But yeah, so my brother-in-law, thanks, Conrad, appreciate it. Because he was like, "Yeah, go ahead."
That's awesome. I don't even think I knew how you got started in
That's a good question.
package handling. Yeah.
The preload struggle, Bobby.
Yeah.
I get it. I
You,
actually got to
you,
meet myself. Oh, I know. I got a preload struggle.
how long were you there for again?
Fucking 5.5 years.
No, fuck that. Nope.
Ooh.
I did 3.5, and that was
Not
it.
the
That was
fucking.
hell.
I feel like I'm about to sneeze, so I'm gonna keep muting myself if I do it randomly. But
I only did 1 month.
That is so cute. That is so
Thank
cute.
you very much. Thank
the
you.
thing with
Thank
me though is I didn't like. It was so. So I applied, and I got applied for. So I started in June of 07. So I applied the peak season of 06 for like holiday help. Didn't get hired. So, just kind of said, fuck it. So my dad, when he was working, he used to pick his shit up. They didn't deliver it. They would just put it on hold at the center and he would go, he was close. So, excuse me, they had, so one day randomly, they had like 2 people walk out of the preload, probably pissed off, who knows, but they walked out. So it literally happened to be right then. Supervisor came out and was like, "Hey, is your son still looking for a job?" And I was in college at the time, so I ended up taking it. And I about got fired from the preload a few times myself because I wasn't really in a state where I was being committed. I mean, I would show up, but sometimes I might have showed up from being out all night.
Yes, dude. That is the best fucking load right there.
Yeah, man. And yeah, the drivers would come in and see it was me and be like, "Shit." But I got that fucking guy just been out all night, hadn't slept.
Yo. Jesus.
You ever take break and drink some liquor in the parking lot at 8 a.m.?
No, but I got so
That's
drunk
good.
one time on a Sunday that I forgot I was on vacation and went in.
No!
I drove in to preload. So we have this place. This is it's called Arden. And there's this huge rock. It's this big river and it's a big party spot. A lot of people go there for a Sunday fun day. And I haven't been out there in a while because I don't do the Sunday fun days anymore because I hurt too bad and I can't do it. But at this point in time, at that point, 22, that's fucking different time. And had the Sunday fun day tuned up. And here I come, and I'm on time, and I'm feeling good. I'm walking in like this, just thinking walking home. I see where I'm supposed to be on the belt, and there's somebody else there, and I was like, "What the fuck's Mark doing in my spot?" And they were like, "You're not here." I was like, "What?" And I looked in the office, and I saw vacation. I saw my name. I was like, "Oh shit, man!" I thought it was the next week.
Oh my
So
God.
I honestly, they shooed me off. They're like, "You gotta get out of here." I was like, "You can't let me like sleep in the bathroom for a few hours," but they maybe you gotta go.
Oh my God. Preload sucks, dude. I don't know how these people do it.
No, and Cali, I hear people in Cali are waiting like 8, 9, 10 years, and I'm like, that's just torture.
That's what I wanted to ask you. I know I asked you that last time, Misty, but so you guys, you have the option to preload, but are you like the only? How many are there any other drivers that do what you do?
Yes, there's not very many drivers that go and unload the trucks. That's the hardest job in the whole building, but they go and do load trucks. But I've never loaded a truck. When I was preloading way a long time ago, you got paid $1 more to do it, and I couldn't do it. And so I don't know how to load trucks. I don't want to be responsible for someone's day. I don't want to ruin their day. I don't want to be a part of that. So I just go to work out. But yeah, there's a seniority list. So they call in. Sometimes they'll be all the way up to new drivers of like a year or two. So they'll take 20 to 30 drivers. You'll see brown everywhere in the preload.
No shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of people do it. So they start. What's that?
When you say workout, like, are you unloading the trucks and just considering it workout, or do you like take the over 70 and you just start squatting and like doing curls and stuff? Do you?
Yeah. I don't sweat when I go to the gym. I'm not a sweater, but when I unload trailers, I'm going so fast because in my mind, I'm racing everyone on the dock. So I'm going as fast as I can, and I come out of the truck and I'm like, whoa, what's next? And they throw me another truck, and they're all kids. They're all, I'm my age. I've been there longer than they're alive.
And that's fucking great because that makes them really like, especially because that, people always question the younger generation. It makes, I love that because they can't, I mean, what are they going to do? Are they going to bitch? Like you just said, you've worked there longer than they've been alive. Like they can't bitch. And if they do bitch, then they're just being a bitch. I mean, they just
get my warm up. After this, I'm going to deliver for 10 hours. Like,
right.
So it's a lot of fun. I only got called in once this week, and it was kind of sad, but whatever. I'll take what I can get. It's fun.
I got a question because we were talking about this because this just happened to me at my center very recently, and I know it's happened with Bobby, but have you had drivers that had been drivers for a long time become supervisors in your building and, kind of, get supervisor-ish when they weren't doing the shit themselves? Has that happened in your career a few times?
In my career, I don't think so. I can tell you right now, every single one of my bosses have never driven.
No shit.
None of them. So
Perfect.
they take them
right,
and they become a supervisor. And some of them get it. I mean, they're like, how can I tell you how to do your job when you do it better than I can't do your job because you know how to do it, so they, I got some cool bosses. So, but, I mean, no, the ones that are getting supervisor-ish are, they just are power trippers, and that's why they're a boss. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's what they're meant to do, I guess. I don't know. I could never do it.
Well, they
all get really fat.
See that's the thing here. I mean, I can only speak at my center, but it almost feels like it's a requirement for supervisors to chain smoke cigarettes and chug coffee And I'm like, man, I'm already fucking done enough damage to myself with
Right.
contact sports and all my dumb decisions. But so we had this guy, and he's a friend. I consider him a friend, but I was telling Dave and Bobby about this guy, and I don't care. I wouldn't mention his name on here. I don't know if he'd listen. I don't care if he heard, because it's the fucking truth, and I'd say it to his face. He's a good dude, and I'd do anything for him. But he was a cut corner driver. He would do things like covering the route after him. He would, maybe no such number something, or EC something, didn't want to go up. Might have just he was a cut corner dude, and he's just become a supervisor. And he's a very nice guy. Like I said, I think a lot of him outside of work. I'm professional though. He wasn't a fucking poster boy of what we do. And so now I'm hearing him, get supervisor-ish and PCMs and stuff. And it's fucking, it's just making my blood boil. And it's just like so today.
Hold on.
Go ahead, Dave.
But you skipped the part. You skipped the very important part. What was he trying to do a week ago?
Oh, yeah. Oh, shit. Thank you,
Good job,
Dave.
Dave.
Thank you.
That's why I'm here.
Yeah. Union. Yeah, that's true. Best moderator in the game, folks. He was trying to be a union steward.
What?
And now he's a supervisor. Literally in like a fucking 8-week span.
If he comes in next week and says his name's Kimberly, just fucking, that's it. That's it. Can't make up his mind.
Yeah, union steward to supervisor in about a 2-month fucking period.
That is what blows my mind, bro. That's from one extreme to the far other. That's
Did he
insane.
get rejected to union steward and then he went management?
He did.
Oh, perfect.
He got there. I nominated a guy that was younger because I felt we had a guy step down, and long story short, I nominated this kid. He's like 26, 25, but he's not afraid to stand up for himself. He actually knows the book, and I thought he would be good for the younger people because I wanted to have somebody younger in it, because those are the guys that normally get, or ladies that get fucking intimidated and get forced, when they first come in and they get scared and want to run. So I put him in, or I nominated him. So I was like, I fucking nominated the guy. I'm going to vote for him. And, but he was kind of sour about that. Not really towards me, because I wasn't going to put up with it. I was just going to tell him the facts. And it wasn't personal. It was just, I was like, dude, you can't be a cut corner employee and want to be a union steward. Union stewards got to be by the fucking book. They have to be. That's why they're fucking union stewards, I guess. Or at least in my experience, I'm in a small area. Instagram has opened my eyes up to a whole new. I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. It blew my mind because I thought it was only me that had these suspect, crappy decisions being made, and I found out it happened all over the place.
Yes.
Yeah, dude, that's fucking crazy. That's.
Well,
Does anybody respect him?
What's that?
Does anybody respect him?
I mean, that's the thing. It's like I said, he's a good dude. He's not a bad guy. I mean, he's a likable guy, and it's hard not to like him, but I mean, it's hard as a driver, I'll say that as far as drivers, it's hard to swallow hearing him say shit, kind of condescending supervisor-ish, like, dude, like, really? Like, you didn't fucking do worse. I'm not going to keep fucking trashing this guy, but yeah, it pisses me off because I know I've covered his route plenty, and I know he did, shit that he was being lazy on, like COD, no money. That was going to be my example, and I wasn't going to say it, but I'll fucking say it. He did little things that, just like, and it wasn't like it got misdelivered and shit got lost, but it would be like, oh, the next guy will handle, because we were all cover drivers at that point. It just fucking, and then I would get caught, and then somebody would be like, well, this was yesterday. Why didn't I get to? I'm like, well, I don't know. I can't tell them.
Or over 70 and they weren't in, but it didn't need a signature. That pisses me off.
That's
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah, shit like that. And yeah, I mean, it's hard. It's hard to, but I wish him the best, and he's a good dude, and I'm not going to let that shit fucking bother me, because once I'm out on the road, I don't see him, and he's not an asshole anyway. I mean, if he has a ride along with me, yeah, Bobby, good point. Good point.
The dark side is new with him. Just wait.
The dark side.
See, our supervisors, they took away their pension. So anybody that becomes a supervisor now, no managers have pensions anymore. Is that how everybody is?
I have no idea. Here,
So
anyway,
any new boss, any new supervisor that comes in, we know that they don't have pensions.
No shit.
Yeah, I'm like, why would you ever be a supervisor without a pen? Like, whatever.
Yeah.
For the aviators and the Bluetooth.
Yeah. Supervisor Rich is the only supervisor that is in shape, though. I've ever seen.
There's one up in the Stanford Center we have, but he's probably getting chubby.
I was gonna say, that's actually a good point. Yeah, Supervisor Rich probably is the most in shape supervisor you'll see.
Yeah. He's fit, probably from running after chasing everybody.
He'd chase me every day, and I'm just like, you're not gonna catch me, bro.
The thing, and that's what's great, is that some part of Supervisor Rich, no matter how big or how little, I feel like almost everybody has a little hint, has a little splash if they ran into a manager along the way that has some similarities, I'll say.
Now they're following us to make sure we're using the cradle. But they have a report, so they know how much you're using the cradle, but they want to catch you in the action, I guess. But I actually am a fan of it. I like it.
Well, why they're wasting
thing on it, and so before you get to the house, it chirps at you and it lets you know. It's like any idiot can do my job now. It's actually pretty nice.
Well, that's what I was very, very outspoken about the cradles, because I thought, if we're professionals and everybody here did it, and it's weird to say the old fashioned way, but still, I don't like, I feel like you can't, it makes me mad to an extent, because one, I don't cover anymore, and I don't know if I want to cover, because when I used to learn a route, I might have somebody run with me for a day or two, and they don't help you on commercial stops. You don't know where the fuck you're going when you go into businesses, and then you got to be all. But I mean, yeah, I feel like it downplays it down, but it's nice. It's a nice tool to have, but we have bumpy fucking whack ass roads here, and most of them don't work. So that's why I have a bid route now, and I still have to cover a route. And it pisses our union stewards off, but it's the route that I live on. But I have to cover it because half of it is fucking no cell service, and nobody knows it other than me and the guy that bid it. So they're like, and they get so mad every time. They're like, you should be on your bid route. I'm like, I'm fucking going home for lunch, man. Just leave me alone.
You're damn right. Ugh. All right. So do you have any other questions for us, or was that it? You just want to know how we got started here?
I wasn't prepared for that.
Okay. That's all right. Well,
they put you on the spot.
Yeah.
One thing we are prepared for, and that was the question of the week that we've gotten.
Yes.
So let's start with the voicemails, okay? So this is one guy left 2 voicemails. So he ran out of time when he was telling us about it. But so the question of the week was
Pranks.
yes, pranks. Thank you. I just had a fucking brain fart so hard there. Yeah. So, what is like the
Gotta
best
get him some
prank
pills
that
for
you've
that.
seen? And I think some people started giving us pranks that they just seen like in their lifetime when it was more, more towards work. But hey, we'll take them. Why not?
Yeah,
Right?
take it.
Why the fuck not? So let's start with the voicemail here. Let me get this queued up. I believe this one's the first one right here. Oh, this is a long one, boys. Here we go.
Here we go.
Guys, gotta love the podcast. Very, very humorous, hilarious, whatever you want to call it. Makes the day so much better.
The fuck is
Fucking
this?
Donald Trump.
Prankster. So we have a driver in our center. This was years ago when I was on car wash. We have a car wash. Was told to wash this car. Our coworker was told to wash this car. This man demands for his car to be washed at least 3 times a week. He's on a crunchy route, so a lot of dirt roads. It has to be washed inside and out and shelves, which is a big pain because nobody else's cars get washed, but this guy does. So, coworker got instructed to wash it. He washes it. Next day, the driver comes up to him and screams and cusses at him that he didn't do it right. So I overheard it, and I mean, this guy was just really nasty to my coworker. So I volunteered to wash it. So I take it in the car wash station, and this is this little 600 car with a single wheel on the back, diesel. I'm sure you guys know what it is. It's a turtle front. So I'm standing on the ground with the hose, and I'm washing the inside and washing the seat. I put the hose on the back of his seat and make sure to push it down so it will seep in and on the butt so it would soak in. Now, I proceed to wash everything else, and as soon as I'm sitting there almost done with his seat, I look up, and the supervisor of the night shift walks by and is like, "What the fuck are you doing?" He looks down at the number of the truck, looks back up at me, and walks away laughing.
Oh.
Got him.
So I decide I'm done with the inside. So what I do is, on the inside of these cars, if you look up, there's carpet on the ceiling inside the cab. So I spray the cab down and the carpet up on the ceiling of the cab. Now, I put a bag over the seat, park his truck, it goes on the inside, fold in his mirrors, and I go to the ice machine, and I get some ice and put it on the seat. Now it got down to the 40s that night. As soon as the morning comes around, it gets back up to like the 50s-ish, whatever. It's Florida. So he's wearing pants. He goes over to his truck.
All right, so that's where he got cut off. So he continued on this one, but so
This is pretty good.
so far as
This
is serious
like
payback.
a book I'll take, but...
This is serious payback. All right, so let's continue here.
Okay,
Hold on.
okay.
Sorry. Car wash. Car washer did a bad job on the driver's car. It needs to be washed every day, or 3 times a week. So the driver comes in the next morning. He's up at his bulkhead door, and the supervisor, the on-road, was on the ground looking up at him, and he's looking down at the supervisor, yelling about his load, slams his bulkhead door, and then plops down on his seat. And I get the story from the supervisor. The driver sat there for a few seconds, and he said you could see water coming off the seat. And the driver just starts kicking and screaming and cussing, and I mean, he's wailing on the steering wheel. And they said, "What's wrong?" And he stands up and he turns his back towards them and he points to his collar and he says, "This." And he was wet from his collar to his ankles. He went on a whole rave wanting to file grievances on everything. They calm him down. They put a bag over his chair. He goes They get back. He gets back in his truck, goes to pull forward, and of course he's inside, so he has to undo his mirrors. He stops, and all that water from the ceiling falls on him, to which he explodes again. At this point, my center manager is just so irate, and
that's epic.
I can't even describe on how I felt when I was being told this story later by the honorary that was on the ground. And later I found out that the center manager was laughing his ass off about it. That guy never asked to have his car washed again, and I was forbidden to touch his car ever again.
Fair enough.
Oh, it doesn't matter. That's so
it.
fucking worth it. Dude, that is fucking awesome.
Am I just hitting the brakes?
I might water someone's truck in my building now.
Right?
Oh,
God, I
Ice
wish I
machine,
could have.
too.
If I could have pulled that off on Disgruntled Doug when I preloaded, I would have tried it. But man, God, that's a good one. That's a good one.
holy shit. Dude, thank you for sending that one in. I believe that one was sent in from it's ADG on Instagram. ADG.
Oh, awesome delivery guy.
Yeah. So that one was sent in from him. Thank you so much for telling us that story. Sorry
God, I
that
thought I
it
had
took
a
you
good
2
prank
voicemails for
story.
it, but
He just smoked. That's a
Yeah.
prank story.
It's multi-level shit.
Damn,
Yeah.
that was a good one.
literally multi-level.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Just wanted to put that pun in there. So and then we got a couple responses through the Instagram. K Pasta Bro says, I think we have all gotten the fake snake at the door, but a fake $100 bill, that's just wrong.
Oh, dude.
I'd be
Did
pissed.
he get a fake $100 bill?
He must have gotten a fake $100 bill once.
Son of a bitch. That's cruel.
I know. I'd be pissed. And then pissed off Yorker's response was, he says, I was in a car with my friends and I farted and locked the windows and turned the heat on blast.
That sounds like a Yorker move.
Yeah.
And then he
Wonder if
also
it
says
woke
one
up.
time he put clear plastic on the toilet seat and his girl went to take a shit and it smeared all over her ass.
It's fucked up.
Dude,
But
I'm telling you right now.
that's also next level. That's like, fuck. Like, be prepared to get fucking slapped.
I think, dude, yeah. I
Next-
think Mrs. Nomad would fucking come
Yeah.
slit
Oh,
my throat.
hell yes.
You're either getting slapped or pink eye.
Oh,
too.
dude, she would slit my fucking throat if I did that.
Dude.
I mean, I'd have to make it Insta Live so it could keep going once I was dead. But dude, yeah, dude. I mean,
Next one was from Brenton _ Wilkins, and he says, it's a good one. Finding and hiding an unattended dyad in the morning, especially from rookies. Rookies that leave their dyads unattended. Go hide it on them.
it is because they're
Yeah.
shitting their pants.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah. Most
I mean,
definitely.
Because
they're
if you
gonna
don't have a
think they forgot it
dyad-
for the rest of the day.
Oh, yeah.
and that's a thing too. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Misty.
How many times have you guys been in the back sorting the truck and put your dyad on a box and lose it because it's brown? I mean, and I'm like, how am I going to call this in? It's got to be in here somewhere.
At least once a day.
Yeah.
At least once a day. I'm like, where the fuck I put this thing?
I couldn't imagine someone hiding it from me in the
Yeah.
morning. I would be freaking out because I would think I did it. Like, I wouldn't think I would be
Right.
you know?
Right.
God damn it.
So, do you guys have any? You guys have any prank stories?
We got when we were cover drivers up in Stratford, two of us went home. The third amigo had to work, so we just decided to take a box of sticky notes and cover his whole car with sticky notes. And we thought it was all fun and games. We sent him pictures and said, "Haha, screw you." It took him like an hour to take off, and it was great until 2 weeks later when both of our cars were, that industrial saran wrap they use for furniture. Pallets?
Yeah.
We couldn't get in our cars because him and another buddy saran wrapped our whole cars. I don't know how many fucking layers. And That was the day I didn't have my Rambo knife, so it was just like cutting through these layers of saran wrap with cheese.
Jesus Christ.
And I was like, all right, fair enough, we're done.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You got any,
When I-
Luke? I still got
when
a
I
few more to mention on
preloaded-
Instagram as well.
Well, you know the old how the trailers used to be. I don't know when they switched to being. I mean, I don't know how long have you worked. How long you been around, Dave?
7 years.
7 years. That fuck. It might have been longer than that. I don't. You remember how the trailers? Misty and Bobby would definitely remember. It might have still been how they used to have. They weren't all like just where you set the rollers inside them, or they used to have like the flaps that you would lift up and get shit underneath of them. Okay, so you know what I'm talking
never
about.
done any hell shit like that. No.
Well, okay, Misty, you know what I'm talking about.
Oh.
There, when you had the flaps on each side, like the wooden. You would lift them up, and there'd be shit underneath packages that you would unload.
Yes.
Okay, all right, good. I'm glad. I'm good. So I'm glad. So these things were just wooden flaps. I mean, they weren't. They.
Oh,
You had to
shit.
unload the belly of the trailers.
Yeah, right.
Right.
So if you put them down and slam them, they made a fucking thud. So we had a part-time supervisor that was like walking tall. He was really, really, really just into it. And so the guy scanning the packages, his name's Kenny. God, Kenny. He probably don't. I don't even know if fucking Kenny has the internet, man. But I was gonna give him a shout out. But
Give him a shout out.
He was scanning a box. I was like, Kenny. I was like, when I slam this thing, just yell "oh shit" real loud. All right. He's like, okay, yeah. So I fucking slammed the flap down, and Kenny's oh shit, and then so the supervisor came running over, and I was laying there like was knocked out. And he came over and was like shaking me and was fucking flipping out. And I did it for about 15 seconds. And I just flipped over and was like, just laughing at him. Oh, he was fucking mad. He wrote me up. For that. But I didn't get in any trouble. But
Fake
yeah.
dying?
Oh yeah, he was
Fake
pissed.
dying?
He was fucking pissed.
Oh my God.
He was mad because he just I did it long enough for him to where he was shitting his pants. Like he thought, like I don't know what he thought, but he was so into it. Like I said, he was a part. He wasn't, he was low on the food chain, but had that little bit of power, man. And he just he thought, I don't know what he thought his life was going to end. I guess I don't know.
I don't know how
So-
you didn't laugh.
I got one
Yeah.
also on Instagram. This one's from Lindsay Ann _808. Lindsay says, I believe it's Lindsay. Lindsay Ann says, I never got to actually do it, but this one time another driver and I had a little war going on. We'd fuck with each other's mirrors, steal each other's garbage cans, grease the steering wheel, small shit like that. I really wanted to get him, so I was going to fill his air intake with glitter. So when he turns on the heat, the fan would blow glitter all over him. That shit takes forever to get off, especially out of your hair. I even talked the mechanic to help me, but they ended up calling it truce before that even happened. But she says she still has it in her back pocket just in case if they decide to, screw around again.
Yeah.
And also got one more here from J_Hill352 says, customer. All right. The customer had a work truck, pickup truck, that he would always brag about how cold the AC was. And knowing that summertime is brutal in those brown trucks, he'd always brag about it. I was delivering to a convenience store and he was giving me shit inside the store about his AC. I walked out the store and noticed his truck was running. So the nice guy that I am opened the door and turned it to full blast heat and walked back to my truck. A couple minutes later, he came out and got in his truck, closed the door, and then jumped right back out. When he did, he looked right at me. He knew who did it. And I still give him shit about that several years later. So that's pretty cool. Just fucking around with a customer, you know what I mean? Like knowing that you got those relationships like that with your customers, you could just screw around.
Oh yeah,
It's fucking awesome.
it makes the job way easier.
Oh yeah.
Makes it way easier.
Oh, yeah.
All in good fun.
And then we'll save the best for last, Misty. What do you got for pranks, huh? 24 years?
I have on my Instagram, you know how you can save the little stories? I have one of my little saved stories is all the customers scaring me on my route. It was like a thing, and it's like they all told each other about it in this one store that I did a pickup at. All the different employees would try to get me all the time, so they would record it. And so my kids jumped in on it. They did it, and I scare easily. I don't know, probably because I drink too much coffee or whatever. And I'd be in the back sorting the truck, all serious, and they would come up and scream, and they thought it was funny to make me scream. So yeah, I've had a lot of customers play tricks on me. I'm very gullible.
And you have a whole highlight reel of it, is what you're saying.
Yeah. It's on.
So if you want to see the highlight reel of Misty getting scared inside of her truck, go to her Instagram and then you'll see the little highlight page, right?
Yeah.
Awesome.
I think I remember that. I'm not
Awesome. I had one, and I mean, I even took a video of it. I could share it on the web, or I could share it on the Instagram after this episode comes out. But so the driver next to me, really awesome guy. He's actually the assistant shop steward. Shout out Joshua Finch. So he has his routine in the morning, and you know, you usually see everybody's routines when they're right
That's a
next to
good
you
one.
in the building, you know? So his thing is he comes in the morning, puts his cooler and stuff on the floor of his cab, and then goes and gets his dyad, and then goes to the PCM, comes back, and then, you know, he puts his cooler into the back of the truck, in the back there. And so after the PCM, I ran to his car. I shut the bulkhead door, and I hid in his car, and I waited for him to come because I knew he had to put his cooler in the back. So sure as shit, and I got it on video, so I'll share it. But he pops open the bulkhead door, and I'm there just waiting to scare the shit out of him, you know. And so, you know, it just opened. I just raw, like right in his face, and just the look on this dude's face was so priceless. And like, you know, he always acts like a big tough guy, you know what I mean, and like everything like that. So like, just seeing this dude scare so easily was just awesome. And then he like, after I scared him, he fucking pushed me back, and I like fell over some boxes in the back of the car. But it's all fun and games. But the funny thing about this story though was that I believe it was 2 days earlier. I did the same thing. I scared him earlier, but I didn't have that one on video, and I wish I did, because that first time I did it, he literally almost fell out of the package car. Which just would have been terrible, obviously. That would have been terrible. I probably would have got hurt, you know? But like, and then you would have thought he would have learned that, oh, my bulkhead door, it was the same thing. I shut the bulkhead door, everything. And I did it twice.
Shit.
And I scared him again, like 48 hours later. You know what I mean?
You just did this, right?
Yeah.
God, I might have been fucking zoned out. Sorry.
No.
Yes. I fucking, okay. I remember seeing that on Insta story. Sorry.
Yeah, that's not good. So so that was my little prank thing. And then we always throw shit on top of each other's truck. Like we'll throw fucking antifreeze or something, not antifreeze, windshield washer fluid bottles or something like that on top of the truck. We'll throw totes on top of each other's truck, and brooms, and then like the guy that walks the belts in the morning to make sure all the packages are cleared is like, yo, you got something on top of your truck. And he tells us every time because we're just fucking with each other the entire time. But yeah,
dude, I got a little antifreeze story, which is
oh shit.
This is going to play into this will play into this. I mean, this guy was a good old boy. I'll just say that, good old boy. And I was in a spot where these two dogs. I just showed. I had an Insta story on it. This German Shepherd that I used to go to ended up getting aggressive because the neighboring dogs would go fucking nuts all the time, and it turned this German Shepherd to where I couldn't go inside anymore because she would just be going ballistic. And I was like, man, I can't, I can't go in there when she's acting like this. But this fucking guy this is in a Sticks area. So this guy comes out, and and it's like these two guys are car guys, and this third guy, he must just been a basic redneck of some kind, and we're all sitting there. He's like
an average redneck.
An average redneck. Okay, he's an average redneck, and he's like, them dogs never shut the fuck up, man. He's like, He's like, sometimes I think about I guess the fucking people must give him popsicles. I don't know. I'm in and out of there. I guess the people that have the dogs, he's like, man, I think about an antifreeze popsicle, just go hand them fucking things. So what I was like, one, fuck you. I was like, I hate those dogs. I fucking hate them. But I was like, that's wrong to do.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm just thinking in my head. I was like, you realize what you just fucking said? An antifreeze popsicle you're gonna fucking make.
Jesus.
So that's what this motherfucker. He don't
Probably
represent.
has some in the freezer, bro.
He don't represent the best of us. But yeah, antifreeze popsicle, dude.
Holy cow.
Yeah, fucking dumb.
Jesus Christ.
It's lime. It's lime flavor.
Line.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. So, fellas and lady, do we have anything else? Anything else on the mind? Stuff we got to air out?
Other than, I mean, I just hope, as we said earlier, I hope around 3.0 avoids you as long as it can, Misty. I guess Bobby, they got rid of it. We must not have been for it. They must just be hammering it with us, Dave, because we're not getting rid of it. We're sinking with the ship.
They're doing us so hard, bro. It's just like,
yeah, we're like the Titanic. Think of you guys being in the lifeboats, just sitting there watching us just fucking sink into the ocean. That's what I feel like every fucking day.
What were we talking about, Bobby, earlier? We were talking about like, oh, there it is. Like, oh, we're safe. And I forgot what the fuck we were talking about. Never mind. It's terrible. That's terrible podcasting. Anyways, so yeah, that's pretty much going to wrap it up. Like we mentioned earlier, guys, go to upsandbrowns.com. Check out all the merch that's for sale. You got the delivery guy, delivery gal shirts. You also have the podcast shirts as well. Just
New
support
stuff-
your
new
local.
stuff coming October.
Support your local
right?
stuff.
October?
Yes, October, right? Is when we're hoping to get more merch out for you guys. New designs, some fun ones, and whatnot. And so be on the lookout for those.
Delivery guy shirt. I don't want the girl, lady. Can I wear the guy one? Is that acceptable
Fuck
for
yeah.
you guys?
Do whatever
That's
you want.
fucking absolutely acceptable.
As long as you cut the sleeves off.
Yes. Yeah.
Suns out, guns
As
out.
long as you mystify it.
Yes, I will.
Okay.
I will.
All right.
Yes.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
So, guys,
Absolutely.
thank you for joining us. Another episode in the book. Misty, thank you for coming on so late notice.
Hi. I'm here anytime. Thank you for having me.
Hey, very, very
Friday night
appreciated.
for me.
Fucking yeah,
Yes.
right?
I love it.
Yes. And good luck on your race tomorrow.
Thank you.
That sounds
Yeah.
awesome. And
Make sure we'll know. I guess we'll be posted.
all right. And
Yes.
Warriors, don't forget your most important stop's always home. So that's gonna end it. We'll see you guys next week.
Over now.
Even if it's 10 o'clock.
Yes. Fucking love you.